this video I'll be showing you how you can easily smoothen the backdrop, or how you can easily get a nice and seamless backdrop for your images when it comes to Photoshop. So if I told you do a lot of studio work and you always have to deal with those wrinkles or faults in the backdrop, I'll be showing you I can easily get or smoothen the backdrop from looking like this to looking like this in just Photoshop. And if I told you how to download this image to follow along, simply check the links in the description of this video. So we're just going to go straight into smoothing the background. You can see before and after, and by the end of this video you're going to be learning and understanding how to make your studio backdrops better when it comes to Photoshop. So I'll just come and delete this. So in order to work on the background, we first of all want to make a selection of our subject, and with this simply come to the quick selection tool or any selection tools when it comes to Photoshop. So I'll just come to this quick selection tool and simply come to select, and before I come to select, make sure that I have created a copy from the background layer by pressing Ctrl J, or you can use Command J on the keyboard. So after creating this copy, so it is on this copy that we want to smoothen the background and remove these wrinkles and folds. So with the quick selection tool selected, simply come to select and come to select subject, and Photoshop is going to help us to automatically select the subject. So what we are going to do in this case, with the quick selection tool selected in this case, just come and make sure add selection is selected, or the one in the middle right here, and simply come left click onto this to add it to the selection. So right now the issue is we just want to work on the background or the backdrop in this case. So we are just going to come with the selection active, right click on the image and come to select inverse. So previously the selection was affecting the subject, and in this case we just want the selection to affect the background. That is why we have right clicked and simply selected the inverse. So if at all you come back and select inverse, it is going to come back and revert to selecting the subject. So for this case, I'll just come and select inverse once again to select the background. So after the background has been selected, we are simply going to come to the brushes, right click and get the normal brush tool, and make sure the hardness is set to 0, soft round brush is selected, and make sure the mode is set to normal, opacity and the flat 100%. And after doing this, we just want to sample color from the background. So you have to sample a color from a nearby area of the background. So for this case, you can see that we have this kind of bright area. So what we will do, we simply hold down the Option key if at all you're using Mac. Then for Windows, it is the alternate key on the keyboard. So hold it down and it's going to bring up this color picker tool or the eyedropper tool, and left click on a color to sample it. Then release the Option key on the keyboard, or you can release the alternate key on the keyboard. And after sampling this color, we're just going to paint that color just like that. So I'll keep on painting this color in majority of these areas. So sample and paint right here, but as I'm painting, I'll keep away from painting close to the subject. So I'll sample. So you have to keep on sampling different areas so that you can paint that given color in that area. So you can even eliminate this dark color right down here. So hold down the Option key on the keyboard, sample this color, and just come and paint just like that. So we could as well paint up to where the backdrop or the background is trying to fold in that area. So don't mind if at all it is looking a little bit weird. So I'll hold down Option and paint once again in that area. So the point is we are stopping at the point whereby only the fold in the backdrop is not going to be affected in this case. So I'll just come and also paint right there between the hands. So sample and paint in those areas. So you can see right now the background looks smooth, but we still have some issue happening down here, and we have not painted down here. The reason for not painting down is because we have a number of shadows below here, and we're going to be dealing with those later on. So we're just going to come and work on the lower part of the background or the lower part of the image. So this is what we're going to be doing. You're just going to first of all deselect the subject by pressing Ctrl D, or you can use Command D on the keyboard to deselect the active selection. And after deselecting the selection, we are simply going to come, just going to undo that, Command Z, and paint right here better, because we still had some random color in that area. So press Ctrl D, or you can use Command D on the keyboard to deselect. And after deselecting the subject, simply come back to the brushes, right click and get the mixer brush tool. So with the mixer brush tool selected, we just want to even out the tones in the lower part of the backdrop. So select the mixer brush tool, and if at all you can't locate the mixer brush tool under the brushes, you can always locate the mixer brush tool down here. So with the mixer brush tool selected, set it the right way, make sure the hardness set to 0%, make sure clean brush is selected, because as we are painting or mixing and blending the unevenness within the skin tones in the background, we just want the brush to be automatically cleaned by Photoshop. And this first option usually works with the second option, that is clean the brush after each and every stroke with a weight of 9%, load 75, mix at 90, flat 100%. We just want to come and start blending the transitions between the unevenness in the data area, so that we can create a smooth and seamless kind of backdrop. So we are going to zoom in by using Ctrl+ on the keyboard. And how to blend, we basically, you can increase or reduce on the size of the brush by using the box bracket keys on the keyboard, and simply left click and hold down and paint a given area just like that. And in that way it is going to be smoothening and blending this kind of uneven colors in the lower part of the backdrop, and it's going to make it smooth. So don't mind if at all it is looking a little bit too smooth, because we can always come and perfect that later on. So I'll just paint like that. And by the way, if at all your brush tool is showing a plus icon, simply press the caps lock key on the keyboard, so that you can have the default shape of the brush, that is the circle. So I'm just going to paint just like that. And to paint better, you can even zoom all the way in by using Ctrl+ on the keyboard and blend the shadows alone, so that you can maintain the original shadows in the image. So I'm just going to paint just like that, and just come and paint, and you can see it is as well removing these folds that are part of the backdrop, and is trying to clean them up even more. So I'm just going to do this, reduce on the size, and you have to keep on playing around with different sizes of your mixer brush tool depending on how big an area is, so that you can create evenness within or amongst those areas. So I'll just come this other side and try to paint, and keep away from the edges of your subject, because you don't want to change or distort most of those edges. So I left this to be very uneven, because I just wanted it to be as natural enough, or as close to natural as possible, because this wouldn't be looking better if at all we hadn't, or we had made everything look a little bit flat. So right now this is what we have been able to achieve Control minus to zoom out. So you have to keep on zooming in and zooming out to see what you have been able to achieve. So I'm just going to paint and blend this transition even more or even better. So you can see the before, after. So if at all you find that the effect is not better for your liking, you can as well select once again and try to perfect, for example, the lower part of the image. So I'm just going to use Control minus to zoom out. So right now everything looks smooth. So you don't forget to blend the tones in the upper part of your background or your backdrop. So after doing this, the next thing is going to be adding a little bit of noise, because when you zoom all the way into the image, it looks a little bit flat and too smooth. So I'm just going to come back to select and select the subject once again. And when the subject is selected, you're just going to come and add this as part of our selection. So just come and simply add that to the selection. And when that is added as part of the selection, you're simply going to right click once again and select the inverse so that you can select the background. And after selecting the background, in this case, we are simply going to come and add some noise to the image. And before you add noise, simply right click and make sure you have converted to a smart object. So just come to filter and you're going to come to noise and come and add noise. So we're just going to zoom in and see if at all the noise is looking better. So I'm just going to leave this to uniform and monochromatic selected, because we don't want any other color to be added in the noise areas or in the backdrop colors. So I'm just going to be using an amount of around 6 and hit OK. So you can see we have added some noise to the background so that it can look a little bit more realistic than it was before. So this is a before, after. So you can see right now the background is looking smooth and more realistic, and it looks better than it was initially before. So this is how you can easily smoothen your studio backdrops when it comes to Photoshop. And if at all you have loved this, simply like this video and don't forget to subscribe if at all you have been watching and you are not yet subscribed to this channel. Ronix from Ronix Photography. Thank you for watching, and see you in more videos on this channel. Don't forget to keep practicing and also keep creating.